Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today we're going to be playing with some makeup. So during the Sephora sale, I did make a last minute purchase and I don't even know how to show this to you because the packaging is so flippin' obnoxious, but I did pick up from Natasha Denona. Yes, this is the Glam Face Palette. It is. I picked up the light version. I had kind of been on the fence about this a little bit, but then I saw so many glowing reviews. And I think the one from Angela Bright was the one that sort of pushed me over the edge and how this little baby ended up in my cart. So I thought today would be a really fun time to kind of break it out, play with it, and kind of see what I think about it overall. Now the packaging, super reflective. Yeah, hi, window, desk, all kinds of stuff. That's why I said I don't even know how to show this to you in a way that makes any sense. I don't love the packaging. We'll just get that out of the way first and foremost. Does it look beautiful aesthetically? Yes. Does it make it very difficult to show on camera? Absolutely. However, it also, for a perfectionist like me, is really annoying because you get fingerprints on it if you even look at it. And so for me, something that's impossible to keep clean is kind of frustrating. However, let's open it up because the inside is very, very pretty. So actually, let me flip up this little thing because that's nice and reflective too. Okay, so this is what it looks like inside. So we have 5 eyeshadows. 3 of them are mattes, 2 of them are shimmers. Then we have a cream blush and a cream highlighter. Now, this is, I think the reason that I was unsure about it is because it is so neutral and you can do basically 1 or 2 kinds of looks with it, but they're beautiful looks. So let's go ahead, let's jump into how I got this look and then we'll talk all about it at the end. All right, using my BH Cosmetics V5, I'm going to go into the shade Marked Transition and I'm just going to put that exactly where it indicates. All right, so using this Real Techniques brush, this is the base shadow brush. I'm going to go into the shade Marked Crease and I'm going to add that into my crease. Revolutionary. That built and blended beautifully. Using just the tiniest tip, I am going to go ahead and take that under my lash line as well, just to start building that shape. And then using this brush from IBY, I'm going to go into the shade Smoke and just use it on the very outer V to deepen things up just a bit. Finally, using a very precise pencil brush, this is from Makeup Geek. It is just called Pencil Brush. I'm going to go in with Smoke and I'm just going to rub it really close to my lash line, no further than the outer third. Again, we're just trying to build up that shape. All right, now taking a Morphe M167, I'm going to go into the shade Outer Corner. And I'm going to put that on the sort of outer half of my lid. All right, this does not pick up well on this brush. Okay, let me switch to my Sephora Pro Shadow 13. See if it works better with this one. A little bit. I think that I should have put down a bit of NYX glitter glue or glitter primer or whatever you have. I think that would have helped, but I'm gonna work at just building this up. All right, once I got in there, it really started to work with me a lot better with my dry brush. So now I'm going to go into the shade Inner Corner with that same brush, and I'm just going to do the inner corner. These are definitely very sparkly shades, which I personally love, but I really should have used a glitter primer, I feel. All right, now the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back in with my original BH Cosmetics V5 and just the smallest little touch of the shade Transition just to blend everything together. All right, so these are the eyes finished up. I went ahead and added some of my Stila liquid liner, some of my Buxom brown pencil in the waterline, and then my Merit Clean Lash Mascara. And I love this. I think this looks so freaking stunning. I am so happy with it. But the one thing, I don't know if it'll be able to pick up on camera or not, but I have so much glitter fall out on my cheeks. And I actually have my face makeup done first today so that we can go ahead and do the cheek products. But just be aware, either don't use a dry brush like I did, or spray it or something, because I've got so much glitter fallout. Okay, let's zoom out and let's do the cheek. All right, as I mentioned, I do already have all of my base products on. However, I have not powdered because the blush and highlight in this palette are cream products. But from everything that I've seen, they are a little bit on the stiffer side, which I actually do like, so I am gonna go ahead and go in with a brush. This one is from Japanesque. This is their 961, and I'm gonna go in first with the blush. Let's see what I can get to pick up. Okay, there we go, that's coming on. Some of this crazy hair. That looks nice, that looks nice. It looks a little bit odd since I don't have my bronzer on, but I think that looks really pretty. Okay, and then finally for the highlighter, I'm going to take my Real Techniques brush. This is their setting brush. I'm gonna go into the highlight. Whoa, look at that. Holy wow. You see that? Oh wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That is so nice. Ooh, I'm in love with that highlighter. All right, and then the final thing, this feels very backwards to me, so I'm gonna go in with some bronzer because I feel like I look kind of off balanced. There we go. What do you say? Let's gild the lily. I feel like a red lip today. So we're gonna go in, this is Bite Beauty Pomegranate. We're gonna go in with that, I think. All right, so let's talk final thoughts on this first impressions of this palette. And I think it will come as no surprise to anyone that I really like this palette. I'm not surprised by it either. I do really enjoy Natasha Denona formulas. Her eyeshadow palettes are some of my favorites, and I think you guys also know that I am 100% kicking myself for not having picked up the gold palette and the Metropolis palettes when I could have. They're expensive, but she has a habit of just discontinuing things with no notice. They're just one day gone and they never return, and that might have honestly fueled some of my purchase here because I knew that I was interested in it and I was afraid that it was going to disappear and then I wasn't going to have it, which not probably the best shopping advice, but I really like the way that this look came out. So let's talk about the different items in this palette. I loved the mattes so much. I really appreciate the fact that they require building. They don't come on at full wham bam intensity, and I think that that is honestly a great thing when it comes to especially a 5-pan eyeshadow palette. It gives you the ability to really customize those 3 mattes to build the look that you want to build. You can do something very soft like what I have done today, or you can go in and you can go really hard on these mattes and then you can come out with something really smoky, really glamorous, and really dramatic. So in an eyeshadow palette that only has 5 options and only 3 matte options, I think that that is a really smart move and one that I really appreciate. How many times can I say really? The shimmers. The shimmers I think are very beautiful. They are not my favorites, but I think that they are really beautiful. Part of that is that I don't think I used them the way that I should have. They are very glittery, which is very pretty. However, I just went in with a straight dry brush. I should have used some sort of glitter adhesive. I should have used possibly my finger. I don't really like using my finger, but I think maybe dampening your brush, going in with your finger, definitely using some sort of glitter primer or glitter glue would all be a good thing. I have a lot of sparkle going on my cheeks. You certainly can't tell from this distance, and it is something to be aware of. I think also doing your eyes before your face makeup would be helpful in that scenario as well. I didn't because I knew that I wanted to use the cheek products as well, but possibly in the future I will do that. The shades themselves are really gorgeous. They are really pretty, and I think that they will have a ton of versatility with not just this palette, but as sort of companions to other things. As for the cheek products, I really enjoyed those as well. I like that the cream blush is a stiffer formula so that you can really pick it up in a way that's comfortable for you. I'm going to have to play around a little bit. I think the brush that I used was a little bit too floppy. I need something just a little bit more dense, but I really love the color, especially as someone who shies away from pinks and kind of berry colors. I think that that has enough of a neutral lean to it, and it goes on in a buildable way. I think it's very approachable. And if you're not someone who is super comfortable with cream products like me, I think that that is a really smart way to go. And I think that it allows you to use this type of shade on a variety of skin tones. Bear in mind that I did pick up the light version. There is a deep version as well. But it does give it that sort of buildable approach that whether you are very fair like me or you are on the light spectrum or possibly even a little bit into the medium, I think you could still make this work. The highlighter though, oh my god, the highlighter is my favorite thing in this palette. This might be my new favorite highlighter in the entirety of my collection, which is dangerous because I'm supposed to be panning some other highlighters in projects. But oh my gosh, I am in love with this highlighter. It went on so smoothly and so nicely. I don't see it accentuating texture. I don't see it sitting on top of my skin. It just melted right in, and oh my gosh, it's so stunning. It's so stunning. Very happy with this, very happy with this. Would I recommend spending $59 for just a highlighter? Of course not. That's why I don't own the Pat McGrath one that I am lusting after. But I do think that this is a really good, solid palette. But is this palette for you? I mean, always that's a personal decision, of course. If I still traveled for a living, this would go with me on every single work trip because it is perfect. You can, again, play it up, play it down, do what you want to do, but it allows you to use it on a broad spectrum of work and going out types of looks. I do plan on traveling over Christmas. I'm going to get to see my mom for the first time in 2 years, and I am so happy about it. But I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be bringing this with me, and I'm very excited for it to get some good use. I haven't decided whether I'm going to bring anything else, not that it matters for this video, but this is enough of a standalone palette, especially if you're not going to be doing like a lot of crazy makeup. This is perfect, and I'm really happy to have it. So let me know, did you pick up this palette? And if so, what are your thoughts? Is it on your wish list? Are you hoping that Santa might have it under the tree for you? I would love to know. Please let me know in the comments below. As always, everything that I'm wearing will be linked in the description box below. And if you have not yet subscribed, I hope that you'll consider doing so. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye.